Hi, my name is Laura Mehl,
And I'm Nadia Rashan.
and you're listening to My Younger Artist. Hey, welcome back to My Younger Artist. My name is Laura Renee Mehl, and I am one of your fabulous hosts. Nadia Rashan is our other host, and today you are listening to a solo episode. During our solo episodes, we talk about things that are important to us, that are little mini-sodes, where we give you a little bit of the thoughts on our mind. You get to go on special adventures with me because I have a little bit of ADHD. I've taught 8 voice lessons today and also talked to my mom, and I've been up since 3 because my cat woke me up at 3 a.m. So this is a fun one. I wanted to talk about specifically today, rep. And repertoire is what I mean by rep. And what I mean by that is the stuff you put in your book to come into an audition that you sing. So the title of today is Repertoire. And essentially, I think there's such a big headspace, especially as a singer and a voice teacher. There's a big block around repertoire and what is appropriate to bring in, what is not appropriate to bring in, what is overdone, what is underdone. And it's such a interesting line. So there are a couple qualifications of the things that I think are so important to have in your book. And I'm not going to talk about specific items. I'm going to talk about criteria for each of the songs. So first off, do you like it? Which sounds silly, but some people have songs in their books just because they feel like they have to have a golden age or have to have a belt song. Maybe they don't like to belt. Cool, we need to find you a song that you do like to belt. Or we do need to find you a song that is pre-1965 that you enjoy. You know what I mean? So whenever we're looking at material, first thing, does it light you up inside? Does it make you sparkle? Does it make you feel good when you sing it? Because if it doesn't, get rid of it. Automatically. Cut that guy. Not doing it, right? The next step is it recognizable? And I think that depending on who you're going in for, a lot of the time, if we go in with something that feels really foreign or new or different, and it's so new that the intended audience, aka the industry members behind the table, sometimes will be so wrapped up in the fact that you're singing a new song that they can't take in any information about you. This is the balance that we have to strike, right? Because anytime you walk in front of a person in a room, they're already looking at a whole new person than the person that just left. They're already probably going to be trying to figure you out, which is great. That's their job. And looking at your resume and your headshot, making sure that that goes together in their mind, that it makes sense. And then also that what you're about to sing doesn't make them go, why did you sing that for this show? Now, there are some exceptions to this rule where it might just be so perfect that for that show that you know that they'll be able to move past processing a new song. There's also the possibility that the whole goal is not necessarily, and I don't recommend this, but sometimes we go in to just get in front of a casting director, just to get in front of them again. And I say that I don't often recommend that because they are casting for a show. They have a purpose and a goal in being there. Now, there are sometimes calls that are so slow that there's no one there. I know that sounds crazy, but it happens a lot. It happened with maybe Happy Ending whenever it first was a thing before it blew up. And the call was so slow that, for instance, for me, I knew that I was not right for the show, most likely, because at that point, it seemed like they were going to go with a Asian cast, and we can get into all of that, obviously, because of casting and everything that's gone down, and the changes that have been made and or not made. But whenever I saw the listing, I saw the person who was going to be there that day, and I knew that I hadn't sung in front of them in a long time. And when I was already at another audition, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to poke my head over there and see what's happening. No one. There was no one in the room, in the holding room at all. And I was like, oh, I'm going in here, because otherwise they're just sitting there. That's boring. That's not their job. They can do that. And I'm sure it's nice to have a break every once in a while. But whenever you can show up and be like, hey, I'm going to sing a song for you because I haven't sung for you in a long time and I want to get back on your radar. Great. That is completely valid and a good thing to do. If it's a situation like that and you want to do some new material, that is going to be more okay because they're going to be just taking you in general. If you're trying to be put into a specific role, that's a little harder, right? So there's a balance between completely unknown. So like if your best friend wrote it and it hasn't been published yet, maybe don't bring that in. But if there is something that you've heard a bajillion times and you know that everyone's going to be thinking about someone else while you sing it, unless you sing it completely differently, which we'll get into, we're trying to strike the happy medium. If you want to do something that's more popular, for instance, Don't Rain on My Parade. Let's just go there. We know. Most people have Barbara in their head whenever they hear that song. And so it's easy to feel like when you go to sing it, that they're only hearing Barbara and comparing you to Barbara. And obviously that is not the goal. We are not all Barbara Streisand. There's one Barbara Streisand. She does what she does very well. You are someone else. You don't need to try to be her. So if you ever have a situation where you want to sing a song like that, that is well known and has been done by a specific person, first off, go back to the source material because, for instance, Don't Rain on My Parade, the pitches that are actually written versus what Barbara sings, completely different. Absolutely completely different. And I say that because there are sections. In general, it's the same, but there are sections where if you sing that and you sing what Barbara sang, I'm going to just be like, okay, copy of Barbara. Versus if you go in and you sing what's on the page, I'm automatically going to listen to you differently. And I'm not going to compare you to Barbara, right? So that's a trick number one, if you want to use a song that's done a little bit more. Trick number two, gender swap it. So like if you are male identifying and you want to sing Don't Rain on My Parade, great. I'm already going to listen to you differently. Or like if you wanted to sing Out There and you're female identifying, great. And if you're non-binary, first off, go off. Love you. You get to say, like, is this where I would normally be put in this song? Like, would I be expected to play Fanny Bryce? Would I be expected to play The Hunchback? And then make that decision for yourself, like, and switch it, right? Because we're still fighting against the gender binary of what we're typically seen as, right? I identify as gender fluid, so I often enjoy experiences that are not stereotypically like female. For instance, like you give me a chance to sing Out There, I'm going to be like, yeah, right? But I also know for me, since my pronouns are she, they, you're most likely going to put me in a she box most of the time whenever you see me. That's okay. And that's a whole thing that we can dig into too, with the binary and everything like that. And it's a big conversation. It's a lot of fun. But basically flip the perspective of what somebody expects out of that song completely and make it clear that it's on purpose. Awesome. There are some places where that's going to be a little bit trickier. Like if you're an adult, I don't know that I can get behind someone coming in and singing Tomorrow as an adult and mixing it or belting it just as an adult. But that's one of those songs, again, that's been used a billion times. And I don't know that there's a way for me mentally to rewrite that. And I think you have to be the judge of that artistically, like what makes the most sense. If you mixed it and made it like the most sweet, sincere ballad you've ever sung in your entire life, first off, go off. Second off, okay, then I'm going to listen to you differently. But it would be a hard sell in the first place, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like playing with that boundary of things that are known specifically and used specifically, typically, by specific groups, and changing that and messing with that if you want to. That's always a choice. And then there's picking stuff that is for you, that is feels like this is my voice, this is my style, this is what I want, and putting that in your book and feeling like it's known, but not extremely known, I feel like that's like usually the solid place. You don't want all of your songs to be one or the other, but generally the middle ground for most of your songs, I think, is the place to go. Now, that means also that sometimes you are going to go through your book and one year everybody's going to be singing, my gosh. Stay with me, thinking. Okay, so somebody's going to be singing Millie, right? Thoroughly Modern Millie. That was a big thing for a long time. And now, from my experience, Gimme Gimme is still like a dicey one because of the fact that, and we should talk about this, there are so many tempo changes and you have to be on the same page with the accompanist. So if you don't bring in your own accompanist, that's going to be kind of like a shot in the dark, right? Versus if you were to bring in Not for the Life of Me. Wow. That one was done a lot. Now it's calmed down a little bit. And if you're going in for, I don't know, Peggy Sawyer in 42nd Street, that's, pretty accurate. So if it feels like you have a great take on it, it sounds really good in your voice, and you're ready to roll with that, and it's perfect for the role, like, come on, what are we supposed to do? Like, I think that that's a time when you absolutely are completely valid in doing that. Yeah. As far as the accompanists go, this is a fun game because you want to assume that they're capable and good at their jobs because a lot of them are. Like, they are. They deserve to be in that room 100%. They're so talented. There's also a level of which they are sight reading 100 pieces plus in a day. And I don't know that unless they are specifically playing a Sondheim audition, for instance, I don't know that I would roll up in there with I Know Things Now in a different key and then be like, yeah, we're doing the middle section. I've watched, if it's one that like is known and it's the original key, that's not bananas for them to read necessarily. It might be a little hard, but like, but if you ginger swap that and change the key and then expect somebody to be able to read that, as fast as you're going, there are some unicorns that can do that. There are some that cannot. And that's valid because that's a big ask to sight read something like that, right? So I think also picking a piece within the parameters of what makes sense to ask of the accompanist and doesn't feel kind of bananas. Now, if you know the person, there are like 3 people that if I see them as the accompanist, I'm like, yeah, because I know they're not going to blink. They're going to be like, oh yeah, let's go. Let's rage. But it's, again, once you get used to it and you get out there and you are doing things more, then you know who like 100% is going to be able to handle that and take care of you in that space. Because again, you're the one who's in control of your pieces. You can control that. There's not a lot of things we can control, but we can control what we pick. And I think additionally within that, picking sometimes this is really specific, but sometimes there are certain casting directors who can't stand certain songs. And this is something that you honestly don't find out until you take a class with them. And when you take that class, if you sing that song or someone else sings that song, they will tell you right away. And if you can avoid that song the next time you go in for them, great. If you want to try and change their mind, more power to you. But also, it's usually just one song and it's for a specific reason that they don't like it. And so if I personally, when I know that, because I know of 3 casting directors and 3 songs that I will not sing in front of them. And if you know that, maybe take care of yourself in the space and go ahead and walk in with the mentality of, I'm going to sing this and not that because I know that they don't like it. That's going to make it easier to listen to you automatically because they're going to be like, great, I don't know this song, or I like this song, or I feel medium about this song, but not, oh God, not this song. So again, taking that into account. Is it a requirement? No. Is it helpful? Yes. Because we want to make it as easy as we can to help them see us and listen to us and see us in roles, right? But this is just for general songs to have in your book. So we talked about, one, is it something that makes you happy and makes you sparkle and you know what you're doing with it? Two, is it something that is done or overdone? I might be doing this out of order. Done or overdone, or not done enough. If it's not done enough, right, then that's another boundary, versus overdone. And if it's going to be overdone, or how are you going to do it differently? And then taking into account what you're expecting of your collaborator in the room, the accompanist, how much you're asking of them, and whether or not you're creating a good space for you and them at the same time. That's my thoughts. Or just a general overview of how to put rep in your book. Yeah, there you go. I always get to the end of these and I'm like, ta-da, done. If you have other thoughts or different thoughts, please feel free to bring them up and chat with me and Nadia about it. This is just a thought and a moment in time of opinions and kind of how to go about putting together your rep book for the first time. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you're rethinking some songs in your book. Maybe you're thinking, I love this song, but I know its twin. For instance, like Right Hand Man is extremely similar to I'm Your Man. Right Hand Man, I'm Your Man. Very similar. Can be swapped out for each other, right? So things like that are something to take into account if you feel stuck. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this little chat. Feel free to follow us on Instagram at TMYA and also share the things, because we're trying to grow our audience and reach out to more people so that way we can share more information, because nothing should be gatekept in this industry as much as you can, because we all have had different experiences, and the more that we can share them, the more we can learn and the better we can all get. Because there's nothing better than everyone being booked and blessed. Love you guys. And I'll see you around. Go make some good art. Go live your life. Make good choices.
This episode of To My Younger Artist was hosted by Laura, Renee, Mehl, with music by Laura and all edits done by Dustin, Ciano. Thanks for listening.